good afternoon, everybody. It's Bella here from Rachel Bella Crafts. Actually, it's still morning. It's 20 past 11, but never mind. I've been up early and I've been preparing for 2 days for this. And I hope you're as excited as I am about this collaboration. I've got something new to show you today, which is wonderful. It's always good to do something new, isn't it? Anyway, here we are, 100 Days of Junk Journal Ideas. I'm Bella from Rachel Bella Crafts, and I'm on the team, and we are doing, what are we doing today? Let's have a look. We are beginning week 5. My goodness, week 5. So here we are, Rachel Bella Crafts, Bella's Crafty Studio, that's me, and we're beginning a new week. Wow. Well, I tell you, the last week has been absolutely massive. All those envelope ideas, wonderful. I'm not going to mention everybody by name because they were all fabulous. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. So here's what's the lineup for next week. I'm not going to linger on it because I've got a lot to show you. And it's Rachel and I today, which is Saturday, and then Sunday is Hilltop View Journals with Steph. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. And there we are. If you want to take a screenshot, you're quite welcome. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and thank you all so much for following along. It's been just a whirlwind, honestly. We went on the retreat last week. I'm not going to linger over that because that was a week ago. So here we go. We had a fabulous time, by the way, so that's by the by. But today is freebie day. Rachel's been at it again, and I've been at Rachel nagging. Please, Rachel, will you do this? Will you do that? I wanted to make a document journal, something different. And I asked Rachel to do a portrait. So she's done me 2 beautiful portrait freebies. Okay, I'm just going to check your own screen. Yes, you are. And they are absolutely stunning. Still with the Billet-Doux kit, the French kit. We're using that today. I believe next week there's a new kit coming out, so watch out for that. That'll be a week Saturday, a week today. Rachel's working very hard on it, and I know that it's been quite a challenge because we've been so busy, but she'll get there. She will get there. So here are these beautiful collage sheets that I've asked her to do for me, and I will show you why in a moment. So aren't they gorgeous? Really gorgeous. I'm going to hold them there so you can see them. Bring them a bit closer. I don't know whether the light's any good. My room isn't very well lit up because they built an extension next door, so they took all my light away. And then I have got the most beautiful magnolia tree outside my window, so that's not helping either. But we are going to make something really unusual, and that's our theme today. Let's go back to the top of the sheet. I should have mentioned that, sorry. Quirky and unusual journal styles. And then next week with the new kit, it will be mini notebooks and inserts. So I'm going to do something unusual. And I've got a couple of journals here that I made years ago that I think are unusual that you may like to see. But first of all, I'm going to show you what I'm going to make today. So I'm going to make a document journal, and my binding is going to be different. It's going to be an antique document binding with some lovely, let me get my lovely bag. I finished this off. I did put it in the shop and I had all the lace inside, but it didn't sell, and I did love it because that's our French material there that we've got in our shop. And also, while I'm at it, I'm just going to show you quickly. I've started doing the Jessie Chorley stitching, and I made this little jug and some other things while I was on the retreat. But I've put all the bits that were in there on sale. I have now added to this little pouch myself, and I'm thrilled to bits with it. So what was I looking for? I was looking for the string. So I'm going to be using this. So if you've got some jute, get it ready because you'll need it later on. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all, and what I've already done, I've got my journal signature ready, so you haven't got to watch me put that together because you've all had lots and lots of ideas from everybody else. Now what I'm using, I've used in this lovely book, and it's a what was it? It was a music book, and this is one of the pages. It's quite sturdy, not really heavy duty, but quite sturdy. So I've shown you those. I'll slow down a bit now because I know I've got a lot to show you, and my voice speeds up when I know I've got a lot to show you. I'll put those over there for a second. I'll cut these out ready. Okay, and this is going to go on the front of here. So bear with me a second. I'll put those over there because we don't need those at the moment. And I've cut everything out ready and I've inked everything ready. All I haven't done is the stitching around, and I thought we would do that by hand, but that would take a little while. So I don't know whether to do it on the sewing machine or, and because it's a collage, I love that page. Let me show you what I've done. Excuse me. I've taken the center bit of the page because I just love that bit there. I've coffee dyed some cheesecloth. That's gone underneath there. But what I would like to do is some stitching around there. And I wanted to do some hand stitching. So I may pause the camera and get started, and then I will show you how I'm going to do it. Then it'll be glued onto here. And then I've got my bits all cut out for the back and the inside because I'm going to use these two lovely pages because they're going to make a beautiful cover. Okay, but the unusual thing is going to be the binding. All right, so I'm going to show you a few of my earlier quirky journals that I made. I think it must be 5 years ago, and this was the first one. And the reason I made this, I'm going to put it that way and I'm going to measure it. It is 13 inches high, tall, by 13. No, that's tall. What am I doing? I want the width, don't I? Silly me. It's because I've got so much to show you. That's what it is. And let's go up a bit. Bella's all confused. 8 inches. So this is why it's easy to use rulers, isn't it? Right, so she's 8 inches across and she's 13 inches down. I made this because we went to Spain because my grandfather was Spanish, and I don't know whether I've told you this years ago, that he ran away to sea when he was about 12, and he came and met my grandmother in Cardiff. And my grandmother was from Bath, England, and it's a long story, but he didn't have a birth certificate. Not at all. How he managed, I don't know, and why he didn't apply for one, I don't know. But he was born in well, it's in here somewhere. Look at this, isn't this fabulous? And I didn't know what I was doing years ago. I mean, I was just beginning, so I just put these little tip-ins in and things like this. His name was Antonio Bellinato. First trip to Huelva, because we did 2, and I just started playing. I did this, I made this, and it's got a record of our photographs. There he is with his best friend. No, that's my dad, sorry. And the second time we went, we found his baptism certificate, and that's the guys from Spain, and he's the gentleman that helped us find his birth certificate, and we did find it. And there's Rachel talking to Juan Antonio. His name is Antonio as well. And we found my grandfather's. There I am with in the registry office with his birth certificate in my hand. So that's what I made there. And I've just noticed I haven't even stitched that in. So this is show you how basic things were 5 years ago, maybe longer. Okay, so this was, see there's bits all over the place here. It must have come off there. But this has moved house with me twice, so I'm not surprised it's looking a little bit. But I want it to look old anyway, don't I? So I'm just showing you how quirky you can make things, all right? And if you have a family history, then, you know, you can do that. And he ran away to sea, so there's one of his ships he was on. And anyway, I wanted you to see that. That was the first one I made. And I got his, which one is this? That's his birth certificate. No, sorry, that's his, no, that's his a death certificate. There, and I've written over the top. But that was how basic that was. And I put it in this beautiful box here because I wanted it to look like a ship's box. I'm not sure you want to see this, but I'm going to show you anyway. All right, and that was the photographs that we took. That's me with the certificate there. Here's a copy of the certificate. And I was thrilled to bits when I got it. Look how big it is. Look, it was huge. And there's a little story attached to this. I don't know whether you want me to tell you, but we were looking for Bellinato, and his name was Marco. Because it's all different in Spain, and they go by the mother's surname. So we did find it eventually, but it took us a while. And my grandfather was a carpenter as well. So anyway, that's that. So that was the box I put it in. How quirky is that? Now, I'm going to put that down there. That's really heavy. And moving on from that then, I made loads and loads of journals in between that. And then my husband said to me, will you make one for my family? So I did. So I'm not sure how much of this you're going to see. And his family heritage is Getley Pistol. All right. And that's where they lived. So here's another one that I made. And he's got all his lovely documents in there. I photocopied them because he got them all safe upstairs. And he's been adding things over the years as well. Okay, so this is the sort of thing you can do for your family history. Okay, and lots of different things. And then I started making tags and things, putting loads and loads of things in. And this is his grandfather's photograph here. And he's still working on it. So I've given it to him to work in. And he's got loads, but I think he wanted me to do it. So he hasn't done much. Okay, so, and this is what I was learning 5 to 6 years ago. Now look. It's all his documents. So that was a bit quirky. So that was that one. All right. And there's my husband when he was younger. And this house here, they've recently been up, Rachel and my 2 other children, to see this because that was their farm years ago. I don't know whether it's been shot here. And it's being renovated. So Chris went up to see it and he was thrilled. And he took the girls and my son and they loved being shown around. It was fascinating. And the last one is my art journal I've done recently. And as you can see, things move along, don't they? So I'll turn it around like that so you get a full view. I'm going to stand up for a minute. I'm just trying to show you how quirky things can get. And this is my art journal, which I haven't begun yet. I was watching Catherine from K3N, and she made this beautiful journal. I loved it, and I wanted to make one. But the time is just slipping by so much, I haven't even worked in it. So I've got all this there ready to work in. So that's another idea for you. All right, very simple. And I've done some slow stitching on there, look. And down here. And that's that. So that's that. So I'm going to leave it there and I'm going to come back in a moment and I'll have everything set up to show you what we're doing today. Okay, I'm back and I think I'm organised, but we'll see as we go along. I'm using a lovely, it's almost like a mushroom colour, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to call it. It's not cream because this is cream, look. So, excuse me, it's a little bit darker than that. So it's number 8 and the number is 3033 and it is Perle. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm just trying to decide now whether I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around here and finish off around here. So excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. Now this is going to be hit and miss because I'm never quite sure unless I can get it up like that. It seems to be working, and I don't mind if it gets a little bit bent because it's meant to be old, isn't it? So this may or may not work like this. We shall see. I didn't want to use pink. I could have used smaller stitches, but I thought that would take forever. So please bear with me while I do this. And if you want to use smaller stitches, you can. but I'm just making this a little bit decorative. So, oh, I don't know why I got a frog in my throat, honestly. It's been one of those days today. I think it's because I was nervous. I had so much to show you. And with my asthma, that's what happens. My throat dries out. But never mind, we'll manage. I'm sure we'll manage. Now, whether we'll be able to do it this way is another story. So let's have a look. I don't think I will, but let me see. Try and do my best. I think stitching adds a little bit of interest. Makes it a bit quirky and unusual. Now, this idea that I'm doing today has come from one of my favourite YouTubers, as you all know, Roxy Creations. Followed her right from the beginning, and I remembered this binding, and it was 4 years ago that she did it. And I will list it below, so you know you need to go and watch it, and she'll show you much more efficiently probably than me. But I'm going to give it a go because I've wanted to do it for such a long time. Now let's see if we can get this done, and then we can move on. I don't know how to speed up yet, and I'm saying yet because we should never say never, should we? What have I done there now? I hope I haven't gone through. Nope, there we go. This is cheesecloth behind, as I said, and this is going through quite well actually, because it's only paper I'm using. It's not, and I tell you, it's only 80 GSM. I haven't used the thick stuff on this today, because I knew I'd be stitching. I didn't want it to be difficult. Just keep bending it back like that and it should work okay. All right. So isn't that a nice effect? Can you see? So just finish this off, and I think what I'll do, I want to do some cross stitches across here. Although, actually, no, don't think I will, because I'm going to sew buttons on. I've got my buttons here ready. I finally got my storage. I don't know what happens. I think it's the WhatsApp. It uses up such a lot of space, and especially if you put photographs on, guys. That can be quite tricky. Now, this is going to be tricky, so let's see if I can get it up in the right place. That'll do. I have glued it on a little bit, but I want it stitched down, okay? So just bear with me a moment. I'm not going to make you watch me sew the buttons on, so I think I'll stop it there, and I'm going to put 3 buttons down here, and you'll see why in a moment. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, let's carry on, and we shall now. I've just stitched around here, as I said, all the way around. I've gone just across the top there, and as you can see there, look, and then I've stitched on the buttons. Okay, so now I'm going to attach it to the cover like so. And what I'm going to do, I've put paper underneath, so what I'm planning to do now is just glue this piece of paper rather than the ones with the buttons on, because that would be lumpy. So I'm going to put plenty on because I don't want it to come off. And I'm using the Yoo-Hoo glue, putting plenty on. Hopefully I've covered everything and it won't bubble. Let's try that now. Okay, so I can't quite see with my head. I think that looks okay. And I'll probably be putting something down there, so that's not a problem. That looks fine. There we are, just smooth that out. And hopefully that will stay glued down. It looks okay. Make sure the middle's done. The edge in. And there we go. Now I've already done the other side, because make sure it doesn't stick anywhere, and I shall turn that over, because of the buttons. So I had to do the other side ready. So that's done. You haven't got to watch me fiddle about with that. So all I've done is collage that last bit there, and there's a bigger piece there, and I think it looks really nice. Okay, so that's going to be the cover. Now I'm just going to put the back on, and that's in bits, so I think we need to put the big piece on first. So let's just glue down here. Put plenty on, as I say, because I'll tell you for why. This paper is not clean because it's very old, so you need to put plenty of glue on when you're using these older pieces of paper, you know, to the music books and out of the old books. I know the ones that Roxy Creation uses, they're very old, and she always says put plenty of glue on or they will lift off. Okay, so I'm just lining that up with the bottom of here, and hopefully that will be all right there. Okay, I don't actually need to put anything down there necessarily, but I'm going to, in case whatever I'm putting there, it shows through. So just think about that when you're doing these things. Just lift that up, make sure it's not sticking anywhere, because there's a bit of glue under there. All right, and I'm just going to go down here now, and I'm going to attach, I was thinking of attaching some book page for a change on there, and then putting that on the top like so. So let's do that, shall we? I might just glue these bits very gently, because this is an old book, and I'm doing that on top of the buttons. See what I mean about the buttons? So it's a good job I did the back first, wasn't it? I'm being gentle with this because it is old paper, and this is actually out of a French book. So which book that was, I can't remember. And I'm not going to go right inside because I don't want it to be lumpy there, because I want it to be able to close and open without it being bulky there. So everything's in my way at the moment. Anyway, let's get this on, and then we can see about binding in the unusual binding that I've been talking about and not telling you exactly what it is. Quite excited about this. That's really wet, but that's fine, that's okay. Take that up a bit. There we are. I don't want it touching where the spine is going to go, because the less bulk you've got, the better. But on the other hand, we need to support that spine. So I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing in a moment. Just make sure that is all nicely glued. Let's get rid of the sticky bits underneath. And it's a bit sticky here because I went a little bit near the edge there. So that's why that is like that. So that would be like that. Okay. And that will be like that. So I hope I'm in shot. And then when you open it, and of course then you've got your signatures, and I'm not too sure whether or not I've got too many signatures. You tell me. What do you think? She looks good at the moment, but of course when you start putting things in, so we have to make a decision, don't we? I know that's bulking it out a bit, so let's take that out. But I have got a lot of papers in here. I'll show you now. Let me just put my glue top back on. Okay, I wanted to put some lovely lace on here, so where's my little pouch? Let's get my lace out. So I've got some lovely lace there. That's for when we finish the spine. Let's get it all out, shall we? And then we can see what we've got. So I've cut off some bits. Now before I put that in, I was wondering whether or not to put this lace across here and make the pocket, which I think I might do. I might do that. Okay, and then that will go in there like that. And then the lace will pop out at the bottom here. Now this, as Roxy has said, Rachel from Roxy says, this isn't one for standing up. This is one for going on your coffee table. And it's also not for one for writing in, because we're going to put lots of lace in and lots of lovely pictures like this and different things in there, which is ornamental. That's the word I'm looking for. So she's not going to be one that you say is a diary or something like that, okay? So this is just an elegant journal that is going to go on your coffee table or out on your cupboard somewhere, but you would keep it flat. All right, so we could have lots of skirts hanging down there if we wanted to, as Mrs. Cog would say. And if you don't know who Mrs. Cog is, you have to go over and see her videos. But I need to do something down here. So I think we may use washi tape, or we may put paper down there. I'm just thinking what's going to be the strongest and yet not too bulky. So I think it might be, if I could remember where I put it, washi tape. Because when I go through this, as I'm going to show you at the end of the video, the binding here, I need to be able to get through that without it breaking. So I'm going to go away now and have a little think, and I'll be back in a moment. Well, I've decided to go with material. It's a bit clashy, but I like it, and I think that's going to work very nicely. Some material I had in my stash, so that's going to work fabulously. And now we've got to glue it down. So let's get that glued down next. There's a lot of steps to this, so I'm hoping Rachel will you know, put those steps into the description box for you to come back to time and time again if you want to. I know some of you do that. Right, I'm putting loads of this Pritt stick on, because apparently it's supposed to be very good for, not very good for paper apparently, according to Ronnie, but I haven't had any issues with it. But I am going to use, oh, it's coming out good. I am going to use this fabric glue as well, just to make sure. Okay, guys, where's my spatula little thing? There we are, so that I don't get any lumps. I'm hoping I'm in shot. You never know these days. I think I'm all right. Right, okay, so that's going to go on there, making that sure that's up the correct way. And trying to find the middle. There we go. I think that'll be okay. And then if there's any not stuck down, then I can actually, where's my spatula? There she is. Not spatula, what is this? Bone folder. Get it down as flat as I can. I think I need some, just pull that up, get those lumps out. Okay, and turn it round a minute. Make sure she's glued down on the end there. That's lovely. So that's looking good. Okay. So really, I should wait for this to dry. Now, this side, I was going to add, what was I going to add? Is this the longest piece? But I'm not sure whether it's too big now, so let's find the correct way. Why have I got pink on there? There we are. So it could either go, that's going to overshadow it a bit. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but it is absolutely beautiful. And I want this to be a very lacy, what do you think? I think that's rather nice, don't you? And I've bent that now in there, and I hope, shouldn't do this too soon. I think the colour has come out of the printer, look, but I think that will dry, but it doesn't matter because I'll be putting this over the top, and that's going to go over the top of there like that. So I think that's going to be really pretty, don't you? But I'm going to try and keep that flat a moment, and then we'll glue this one on. So let's see, make sure I get it the right way. Do you know you've got a job to tell, haven't you? Yes, I think that's right. And she's quite, let me fold her in half a minute so I know how much to, so she's going to come about there. I could trim that end off, but I don't really want to, but then again, why waste it? So That would make a lovely edge in there for inside, wouldn't it? Shall we try it? Why not? We want it to be unusual, don't we? So let's just try. I'm not going to tear it because sometimes it goes a bit funny, so bear with me a moment. Should have thought of this beforehand, but never mind. Can't think of everything. Where's my other little scissors gone? No idea. Okay, I'll keep up with these. I had so much to think about in this journal that my head is spinning. But there we go. So let's see how that works now. Yes, I think that's better. I can move it over a fraction. Yes, excellent. So let's put some Pritt stick down first. I can doubly sure. And then I will put the fabric glue over the top as well. So if I can get it out again. Yes, she's coming out nicely. Couldn't get it to work the other day, so I've been storing it upside down. Lovely. Shut that up. Just wipe the top. This will go hard very quickly, so keep your lid on that, guys, okay? Let me get my spatula. Make sure I get plenty down the bottom. Might need to put some more on, but not a problem. I'm not sure how wide this is, so let's just try it. I've been throwing this around now. Do you know, I don't think it really matters which way round. I think it's that way, actually. As I say, this journal is going to sit on a coffee table, hopefully. Don't know where that needs to come over a bit, I can't tell. I think it does need to come over a bit. But if you put the Pritt stick on as well as the fabric glue, then you're able to move things around a bit better, because this is more slippery, okay? So that's why see, I can manipulate that, whereas with some glues, especially the 3-in-1 or the other one, I wouldn't be able to move it. It would grab straight away. Oops. There we are, guys. I think that's going to look stunning. And then I can trim that off later. Okay, so it's going to be like that, and I'm going to leave it for a moment to dry. I'm sorry I'm stopping and starting this, but it's the only way I can do this to get it finished so that I can show you the binding. Okay, and it is a collaboration after all said and done, and you want your money's worth, don't you? There, so we'll let that dry, and I'll be back as soon as it's dry and we'll carry on. Okay, I'm back, and so far so good. I've gone on and I've put the pockets in the inside, which I'll show you in a moment. I've also gone on and worked out where I want to put my my holes to put my jute through, and I've measured. Let me give you the measurements. I haven't given you the measurements of this yet, have I? So it's about 29 inches, centimeters long by, from paper to paper, and 11 1/4 lengthwise, and the width is roughly 4.5 inches by, I'm guessing now, guys, about 12 centimeters. So what I've done here, I put, if you can see, I've done the holes ready. I've done, you know, this has taken quite a long time, this this journal. I wanted to make it flow as best I could for you. 7 centimeters to the top one there, and 2 centimeters in that I've decided to do here, top and bottom. Okay, so I've already threaded, I've already poked my holes through. You don't have to watch me suffering to do that, because you know my hands are bad. And I've got to think about this now, because we've got to go, I want my ties to finish outside, so I need to go down first, don't I? So let's see if I can get this in. I've got a really thick, oh gosh, she's gone in, and let's hope this comes through, because I haven't tried this yet. Whether the hole will be big enough, I don't know, because don't forget, this has got double the amount of, let me get my tweezers. Where have I put my tweezers? Hang on, here we go. See if that'll help, because you need a grip. Just wiggle it about. There we go. Wiggle it about. It'll come through. All right. And take that back out, because I don't want all that. And I've got another hole down there which you can't see, and that's gone straight through there and straight through. Excellent. So this is called an antique document binding. Now, there are 2 ways of doing this, 3 ways actually. You can either use some beautiful ribbon, but that was too bright. I didn't have any baby pink, because this would have been better if I'd had that colour to match those, but I didn't. So that was the only ribbon I had, so we'll forget that. But I originally wanted to go with the jute, okay? So that's the first one through. The other way you can do it, and Roxy Creations did it this way, she put 1 hole down here, just 1 there, and then she tied it at the bottom there. But because I put the lace down here, and I wanted it to be like a little skirt, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to tie it here instead. All right, so let me take that out. See that that's flat. Okay, so give it a good tug, but I don't want to break it. So let's see if I can do this now. I may need Chris to come and put his finger on there. I don't know. But the other thing I was thinking of with this idea, now Roxy did actually tie a knot in it. Whether I'm going to get it tight enough, I don't know, because I may have to take it back out, because my hands don't work and Rachel's not here. All right, so I'm doing my best. Right, it's not perfect, but I'm not going to worry about it. It'll do for now, because I can always undo it and tie it again. And then Roxy did this lovely bow, like so. All right, now it doesn't need to be that big. I can cut it down afterwards, but you're getting the general gist. This isn't actually properly dry, so that's bunching up a bit, and I don't know why it's bunching up. So let me just adjust that. And the other thing I was going to say to you is that you could take it in and out if you wanted to, but it may damage it. So I'm just going to work with it now as it is in the all sewn in, okay? Because I wanted you to see this unusual binding. Roxy's looked really neat and tidy. Mine's looking a bit scrappy, but I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Where's my needle? Here it is. Because I can tidy it up afterwards when I've finished, and I'll put photographs at the end, as I usually do. Okay, guys? So, but I wanted you to see this because I absolutely love it. So what did I do? I came from this side. And you need your awl to make sure everything's working as it should be. I'll go through the other way, that's the best. There we are. Just poke it through that way. Go down to the thicker part if you're doing this kind of thing, okay? Find my hole again, and she went straight through. Now I may need the pliers for this one. Wiggle it about, and then go back down through there. My lace hasn't dried properly yet, so Sorry if I'm a bit bumbly, but I am aware that this has been quite a long video, so... But I'm hoping that Rachel will put the numbers up for you to come back and look and see anything that you've missed. All right, guys? So if I go that way, put my finger down there as best I can. This is tricky when you haven't got another pair of hands, isn't it? My finger was stuck then. There we go. Okay. And then tie a bow. And it won't be as big as this, but I'm just showing you. I'm getting the gist of it. And I'll take these off. Hopefully that's in tidy now. Not too loose. There we are, my lace is okay. And I'll tell you what I've done off camera as well in a second. I know you guys will bear with me because you know I take longer than everybody else because of my hands, but there we are, that's all right. I'll make these smaller, but don't you think that's fun? I mean, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. As I say, Roxy had hers tied down here, but the bow was up there, and she went through twice. So go along and watch what Roxy did and see which way you would prefer to do it. So there's my pocket, and I haven't made any tags yet, so I can't put... what have I got here? I don't think that will fit in there, it's too big. It does actually. There we go, there's a document going in there because it is a document journal. And then you can have taller ones, bigger ones, shorter ones. And look how flat it lies, guys. I did take out some papers, I confess, because I was a bit worried. So would you like me to count how many papers are in here? I could do that for you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Did I count that one? 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's 18, 19 pages. See, that's a bit loose, but when my hubby comes down, I'll retie that, and then it'll be nice and tight. But don't you think that's fun? So there's no mess in there now, guys. And she's unique. She's unique to me, and she's unique to you. And the other thing I haven't shown you, I did actually glue that on, but then I stitched around here. Can you see? By there, look. Never quite sure where the camera is, so, and I've gone down there as well. And I've gone down here and across there. So that pocket is stitched in. So I've got stitching here, buttons there, and I've got stitching down there on the pocket. But I think that is so fun, and I'll make these much neater and tidier when I finish the video. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it wasn't too long and boring for you. And we did get there in the end, but I desperately wanted to try this, so I hope you like it. Have a wonderful week, and please like and subscribe to everybody that's going to be putting up videos. And if you like this, please give me a like and a thumbs up, and maybe a comment. That would be lovely. Take care, everybody, and thank you ever so much for watching. Bye for now.